There's a war going on, the books can't escape from the team. Call the morning steam, it's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, and a pleasant good morning to you coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show for Thursday, March 13th. This is, for some, the best day of college basketball all season here on Tournament Thursday. We've got action from most of all the major conferences, several more action all day here, ready to start, well, in less than 2 hours. Starting with the Mid-American Conference, going late into the night with the Big West. And we'll preview major college action here today, the day card. Mikey Money will be along in the evening, give you his best plays for the night card. But for some, these 44 games today, as good as it gets. Sure, it's going to be great next Thursday when you got 16 games in NCAA. But for many, this is the day right here. This one, Thursday, March 13th, 44 games, pretty much all of them televised, streaming anyway, one way or the other. So get ready for previews of, well, not quite half of them, but we'll preview the major conferences here. We'll wait for those other conferences to pare it down for their semifinals and finals. Can't cover them all, but we'll have our conference coverage here of the SEC, ACC, Big 12, Big 10, and, of course, action from the Big East as well. So hopefully you guys had a great day yesterday of sports betting action. We had some exciting finishes, some exciting results as well, including teams punching their ticket to the NCAA tournament. A couple of my picks were in there for sure, with Montana over Northern Colorado. They advanced to the NCAA tournament with that 91-83 win over Northern Colorado. Montana's in for the first time in 6 seasons. We had the over in that game in the Big Sky tournament here on the Morning Steam Show. Also, McNeese is in. Look, if you had to pick one team from some of the weaker conferences this season that maybe would punch their ticket, it was McNeese there with the win over Lamar. Yeah, we got the money with Lamar plus those points against McNeese. You guys had them yesterday. Team Steam Consensus said take Lamar plus those big points, and McNeese wins by 9 to advance. Also, Patriot League with American. I had a premium pick winner on American there as they won that game at home over Navy to get that money. So American is in for the first time in 10 years. When they went to the tournament, they played Wisconsin and lost by 40 points. So we'll see how it goes for them there in the NCAA tournament. Also, just want to point out or mention one other team that made it to the NCAA tournament last night on a personal level. On the ladies' side, San Diego State beating Wisconsin in 3 overtimes last night. San Diego State, coached by a woman that I covered when I was a young reporter, and she was a player Now she just led her team. I guess that just says I'm old. She's in her 40s. I'm in my 50s, but remember covering Stacy Terry, now Stacy Terry Hudson, formerly of El Capitan High School. Saw many of her games, and her team is into the NCAA tournament with that 3 overtime win. I was up late last night watching that one with San Diego State on the ladies' side. All right, there was some other great action on the men's side as well. I want to say hello to everyone in the chat joining me here for the morning steam. We'll get to the previews here in just a moment. We'll also maybe make a pick on those early games. We got some of them in my packages over at winnable.com. I'll tell you all about that, but there were some pretty exciting games last night. How about Kansas over Central Florida in overtime? How about that wild score there last night? 98-84 in overtime. Colorado over West Virginia, as Colorado wins with an upset for the second day in a row. They only won 3 games during the regular season. They've won 2 in this tournament, overcoming a 13-point deficit in the first half. And the Buffs advance to take on Houston today. We did have the Iowa State Cyclones in Big 12 action yesterday here on the Morning Steam show. In the Big 10, it was USC double overtime overcoming Rutgers 97-89. We had a couple winners there in the Big 10 yesterday with the Iowa Hawkeyes here on the show over Ohio State. We also had Northwestern and Minnesota premium pick on the over. Big East action yesterday. Maybe the best was Butler's win over Providence, 75-69. We came through the premium pick winner in the Big East last night with Villanova Wildcats blowing out Seton Hall yesterday. Also quarterfinals in the MAAC. We had Sacred Heart plus those points. A little bit of a tough one there as Merrimack wins 66-62 in overtime. Bad beat if you had Sacred Heart there at the end. You saw the little bit of shenanigans there, but Merrimack with the win, and they advance to the MAAC semifinals as Merrimack started the season 1-6, and here they are in the semifinals. So hopefully you guys had a great day of action in college basketball. We had some other winners yesterday here, including premium pick winner A10 with Richmond. We also had Richmond-Davidson game to go over here on the Morning Steam. We also had Virginia and Georgia Tech game to go under here on the Morning Steam show. Shout out Team Steam Consensus picking North Carolina over Notre Dame in that blowout. The Heels rocked over Notre Dame. You guys had the Tar Heels, Team Steam Consensus there in that one. Also SEC, you guys had Arkansas to beat South Carolina, and they got in there, I think, pretty much laying that 3.5 yesterday. Here I also had a premium pick winner with Texas over Vanderbilt in the SEC. Morning Steam winner here was Texas and Vanderbilt game to go over out in the Mountain West. I had a winner, premium pick winner with Fresno State and Nevada. And in the Big 10, or I'm sorry, we covered that one. In the Conference USA, I want to shout out Mikey Money for his pick on Liberty yesterday over UTEP. And also here, late action in some of the smaller conferences here. We had a premium pick winner with Jackson State. They rocked Florida A&M. Want to shout out also, we had a winner here yesterday. My Champions League soccer, man, how about that great game between Real Madrid and Atletico yesterday? Just want to mention that game, Real Madrid, you guys were talking about yesterday. Real Madrid took penalty kicks to beat Atletico. They were celebrating like they just won the Champions League, and they, took everything they had just to get past Atletico. Real Madrid, a bunch of spoiled uh, billionaires, if you will. What a joke that was. Real Madrid, you got to do better. Atletico Madrid was the better team there, I thought. Real Madrid needed everything they had just to win in penalties. Exciting game, no doubt. Thriller yesterday in the Champions League. I'll say hello to a few folks in the chat and then get rolling with the show. Maybe cover some other winners here yesterday. Hello to everyone joining us for this big day, including Joe T. He was here today. Oh man, does he have some action here? We'll leave it up there. Check it out with Joe here and his releases here in the chat. Thank you, Joe. Also, Thomas is here. Good morning, everyone. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube, the fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. Like it, share it, smash it, pass it around. Let's make sure we get our likes up here. Bobby Mack is here this morning. Nuke Worker, hello. Nice to have you today. And Cash Kane is here today as well. Kiadra, thank you for being here today. Sports Money in the chat. Thank you, Sports Money. And talking with Sports Money this morning, want to mention all of our coverage here, including our MMA coverage. Get ready for this weekend with the UFC card here in Las Vegas. Got previews up ready and available right now in the tabs here at the Sports Money Network. Check out under the videos tab. First Strike, the guys are here with their picks for this week. Jeff, MMA Jeff, you've got in there, you got Mikey Money, you've got Subhuman Gaucho, you've got Fanatical Jim with their best plays over at the videos tab from last night's First Strike program. They previewed their 4 best bets, and also we have the coverage from VB MMA Picks, as I was joined by VB and his guest this week. We previewed 3 fights, including the main event, Vittori and Dolidze 2. These guys are in a rematch from their bout back in March of 23. Vittori won on that night as a 250 favorite, and they'll be back at it again. The middleweights here, top 12 contenders this weekend at the Apex with UFC Fight Night. Vittori versus Dolidze 2 on Saturday, March 15th. VB MMA Picks is sponsored by SXBet, the world's largest blockchain betting exchange. You'll find that one over in the live tab. We film that show live every week on Tuesday. So between VB MMA Picks and First Strike, you got 7 fights previewed for this weekend's card. All right. I'm also watching right now a golf action. See it right here. A little bit of golf here. There we are. And the guys are out on the course here currently. There's still time to get into some futures if you'd like. They're just out on the course. They played a few guys are making the turn. It feels like right now, and I don't even know if they're that far out, but Jordan Spieth is off to the fastest start here, 3 under. Currently, Lucas Glover, 2 under. Bo Hostler, Davis Riley, also at 2 under. I have my picks for the Players Championship right now, the 5th major going on here currently from the club in Florida, and you can get my best picks for the Players Championship over at winnable.com. This is my best plays over there. Free plays here from me with the action here from Florida this week with the Players Championship just underway. Get my top 6 golfers for free when you subscribe over at winnable.com. I got my top 6 golfers for the week over there, and you can see who they are there and get your own plays in for this week. Great golf action here. Okay, let's say hello to a few more folks. Oh, by the way, I've got my best. Let me not kill the commercial here really too quick. I've got 10 plays up, ready, and available in college basketball tournament action, starting with that early game. I've got to play in the 11 Eastern start, Bowling Green versus Akron. We're not previewing it here. A lot of games. We're going to stick to the major conferences today, but you can get my best plays over at winnable.com/Ramon. I'll have an afternoon package out there. Well, that's out there right now. And I'll have an evening package later, as well as pro basketball and college basketball. When you subscribe over at winnable.com, it's just 50 cents a day. When you use the promo code STEAM, this is how you support me here on the show, coming back every day to talk sports and sports betting with you. So please consider subscribing to these picks. You can set notifications, get them directly to your phone. Some of my packages come out 30 minutes or less before the games, especially the NBA, right? You got to know what everybody's on, but I try to pepper it a little bit there throughout the day with other sports as well, my favorite sports, including college baseball, maybe some women's tournament action, whatever we can get to on a big sports betting weekend. And we're going to have a great weekend here. NBA action last night, I did have some premium pick winners for sure. We had the Oklahoma City Thunder yesterday over the Boston Celtics. Yeah, I had the Thunder over the Celtics. Maybe you did too yesterday. Also, a premium pick winner here with Dallas and San Antonio game to go over. I also had the Jazz and the Grizzlies as a premium pick winner under in that game. Also, premium pick winner with the Minnesota Timberwolves. So, pretty okay day there with the premiums over at winnable.com. Check out my picks over there. We also had some winners here on the show yesterday for sure. We had the San Antonio Spurs here over the Dallas Mavericks, lay those points. Yesterday, also, Phoenix and Houston game to go under. We had the total under here in that one. We also had the Wolves and the Nuggets game to go under. Late night, we had the Blazers. They got the money. The Knicks got the win with that exciting last-second basket. Last night, Knicks win over Portland. Late night in the NBA. NHL action yesterday included winners here on the show as we kept our hockey streak going a little bit here. Not like we did the day before. We did have a couple winners. Detroit Red Wings over the Buffalo Sabres. We had the Red Wings here on the Morning Steam show. Also, we had winner here on the show with the Anaheim Ducks on the puck line against Utah. All right. Say hello to a few more, and then we'll get started with our coverage here today. And I really appreciate everyone joining me here. Also, golf coverage over on the community tab or on the post tab right now here on YouTube. You've got the best plays from our crew with Mike and Jeff, the brothers, the sports betting bros, have their picks for the Players' Championship underneath the posts tab right now as well. All right. Say hello to a few more. Here we go with Blue.od.odi is here, and College Station's ready to go. He might be ready for more college baseball today. And let's see what else we've got here. Nick Handy is in here as well. Irish King joining us. Thomas is ready for some action. Hey, we need to get some steam going here already. Philly Eagle Flyers ready to roll. Art Tomps is there. Irish King had some winners last night. Philly Eagle Flyer there. Let's see. Those are the winners from last night. And Bobby Mack's rolling with that goal in the first 10. Thomas is rolling out some more of his plays. James Parham, hello and good morning. And Robert talking about that Champions League. I whiffed. I whiffed on the Champions League. No ifs, ands, or buts about it there yesterday. But we did have one other winner on my VIP pick. we had Atletico Madrid. That was a winner, make no mistake. Remember, I was betting individual games there. We had Atletico to win over Real Madrid, a 90-minute pick, and they did win the game 1-0, even though, of course, a thrilling penalties there as Real Madrid won, but I couldn't find a winner in the Champions League other than that yesterday. All right, Paul Bowman. Nice to have Paul in here today. Haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for coming in and stopping by. Joe W is here, ready to go in the chat. Super true. Talking with Mississippi State there. Nice to have you. And Paul, he says, do I get access to the teams? The runners are betting. Mr. Tomatoes rocking here with us and B-Hawk as well. All right. I think we're ready to go here with some of our coverage here. I've got only 3 pages of action with plenty of notes here to go with the games today. But like I said, we're going to stick to the major conferences. I do have some picks in the smaller conferences over at winnable.com, and we'll get there with the semifinals and finals. Can't get up to all 44 games. I guess we could, but we'd be here all morning and talk right into the games. So let's get into it right now. And I think we've covered just about everything that we can cover here today with our early start. All right. Just checking out, see if we got any steam that came in here. There it is. All right. Let's take a look at this one. Steam coming in right now. Georgia Tech and Duke. I think it's our first game. No, not quite. So let's just cover it. Georgia Tech and Duke is taking our first steam move. There's been some action overnight with some of the bigger moves, but right now it's Georgia Tech and Duke. Steam to the over here in this one with the Yellow Jackets and the Blue Devils. We know it's a one-sided game with the spread, but the total moving higher here from 142.5 to 143.5. Steam to the over with Georgia Tech and Duke. One other one here that came in just as I was about to come on the air. We got to cover these conferences as well in the SWAC with Alabama State and Texas Southern. Steam to the under here between Alabama State and Texas Southern. That was 138.5. We're down to 137.5 right now with Alabama State and Texas Southern. We're not previewing that one in our previews, but I will tell you this, that the game is virtually a pick'em between, I guess I am previewing it here right now. The game is virtually a pick'em here between Alabama State and Texas Southern. I think Alabama State is either a 1 or a 1.5 point favorite. And so it's closely rated. Could go either way, but I will say this, Texas Southern has defeated Alabama State in 22 of their last 23 games. So, yeah, maybe Alabama State has closed the gap on Texas Southern, but you can still maybe look to that a little bit here. Total domination in that series. 22 of the last 23 games has been won by Texas Southern in that series. So just pass that one along. Some of our other coverage. Hey, Marquette and Xavier. We're seeing some steam right this second to the over in the game between Marquette and Xavier. I don't know if I'm feeling it. We'll talk about it. But it was 144. We're up to 145 right now, maybe even 145.5 here with Marquette and Xavier. Steam to the over here just seconds ago on the Morning Steam Show. All right, we're going to get to the games right now. Thank you for joining me here. We've got 75 of you in here right now. So Mr. Tomatoes like St. Bonaventure. Let's go to the games that I'm previewing here. And we're going to go all the way to noon. I know there's a couple of games out there in the MAC and the A10. I've got premiums out there on some of those. So let's get rolling here with the action right now in college basketball today. Take a look here at Indiana taking on the Ducks. In this one, you got Oregon favored here by 1. And call it 2 now. I think we can call it 1.5 or 2. The steam did come in overnight on IU here, dropping it from 2.5 to a little bit lower here in this one. I got a premium pick on the total in this game between Indiana and Oregon. You got Oregon, the number 8 seed, Indiana, the number 9 seed coming in. So, closely rated as far as the seeding is concerned. And of course, these teams didn't have to play yesterday. So Oregon comes in on a winning streak for sure here right now. They're pretty hot currently, and they went 19-5 straight up as a favorite this year, but just 10-14 against the spread were the Ducks this season for Indiana. They were 7-8 against the spread as an underdog. Indiana comes in off of a win over Ohio State. We had Indiana in that game over the Buckeyes to close out the regular season. And we'll see if we can get a few numbers here, but you guys can chime in too and get your picks ready for NCAA tournament action here today between Oregon and Indiana. Big Ten game at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific on the Big Ten Network. See what you guys have in this one. Let's go to the chat. And get rolling with the show. Johnny Walker's here today. Thank you, Johnny, for your support of me here on the Sports Money Network. Cash Kane likes Indiana here on the money line. Basically just a straight up play, it feels like, in that one. Also, Robert McCormick likes the under here in this one between Indiana and Oregon. The widely reported steam also came in on the under in this game. I said I got to update that line. It's pretty much 142 or 141.5 right now in the matchup between Oregon and Indiana here. Let me update that line and get my pick ready. Like I said, I've got a premium pick on the total in this game. So, all right. Appreciate your input in the chat.
Final.
And all right, for me, I've got to take the Oregon Ducks to win this game. I've got the Ducks here to win and cover pretty convincingly here. I was kind of teetering between the side and the total for a premium. I wanted to save one here for the show, certainly, so I took the total over there at the premiums, and I've got the Oregon Ducks to win this one. They won the regular season meeting and covered at home 73-64. So I'm going to end up on Oregon here to win this one at Indianapolis. I'm laying it lay 2 there in this one. All right. Maybe we got one more in the chat here. Thomas is on Oregon, Super True on Indiana, if I didn't mention it already. All right. We're underway here on Conference Tournament Thursday. Well, maybe we could have picked some of the smaller conferences here, but again, these are the teams that are going to make an impact in the NCAA tournament right here. We'll give those teams to shake down a little bit in those smaller conferences, but you got Duke here favored by 22.5 over Georgia Tech today. A little bit of steam coming in right now. Pass it along here in the NBA. Can't forget. the Nets and the Bulls. We're seeing some steam here to the over in the game between the Nets and the Bulls. It was 229. We're up to 230.5. It looks like here by the time this one stops and settles. Steam to the over here with the Nets and the Bulls here. Yeah, there's pro ball tonight. We'll get around to previewing some of it here. All right. Get to this one now between the Duke Blue Devils and the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets here. Yeah, big numbers. So the handicap is what we're looking at here in this one with Georgia Tech and Duke. Hey, I got a premium on the side here. I don't know if that is for better or worse here, but you do have Duke coming in pretty hot here, covering 8 of their last 10. They're 20-10 against the spread as a favorite this season for Georgia Tech, just 6-11 against the spread as an underdog. Georgia Tech has gone under in 13 of 17 games as an underdog this season. The widely reported steam did come in on the over in this game. You see it there at 143, but it's up to 144.5 right now. And I'm even seeing a few books have it at 23 for the Devils. And let's move that total up here. 144.5 here in this one between Georgia Tech and Duke. And we'll go to the chat here in this one. Duke won the only matchup of the season. It was way back in December, 82-56. Duke won that one. So I've got the under here in this matchup with Georgia Tech and Duke. I know that steam went over here in this one, but I'm going to end up on the under as my play here on the morning steam show, under 144.5. Let's go to the chat, see what you have here in this one with Georgia Tech and Duke. Super True likes Duke by 30. He likes this one to go over. Twisted says Duke will get the money. Maybe it goes over. Robert's on the under here in this one. Kiadra likes Boise over my San Diego State Aztecs in that big Mountain West game today. Thomas also likes Boise today to beat my Aztecs. James Parham likes Duke. Super True says Duke might get 90 in this one. That feels like an over there. I'll take the under, though, with Georgia Tech and Duke. All right, let's continue on here. Paul Bowman says Georgia Tech doesn't make enough shots. They'll lose by 30 and the game goes over. So, man, if you're looking at it like that, and it's going to be by 30, that's going to be what, 87-57. Oh, it's going to go over. So, and he says they'll score 90. So I guess 90-57 kind of sounds like the score for Paul Bowman. All right. And we'll continue on here now. Next up, we're going to the Big East with Butler and St. John's. Let me pass along one steam play here, just coming in the MAC tonight. It's MAC tonight. Kent is taking the steam here right now. They were a 9-point favorite or so, 9.5. They're up to 10 here right now. Kent taking the steam in their matchup against Western Michigan. All right, Butler and St. John's. You got St. John's, a number 1 seed here on a roll. It feels like they should be a Final Four team. The way this team is going right now, they've got a great team here right now with Luis, with Ejiofor, with Richmond. This St. John's team is unheralded here for the most part. I guess a little bit of news there with you've got Rick Pitino, Coach of the Year in the Big East. You got Richard Pitino, Coach of the Year in the Mountain West Conference. That has never happened before, that a father and son have both won Coach of the Year for their individual conferences. All right, steam coming in, though, quickly here. If I could pass one more along here. We've got a move coming in the matchup between Charlotte and Florida Atlantic. Steam to the under here in this one with Charlotte and Florida Atlantic.
System play.
It was 147. We're down to 146 here with Charlotte and Florida Atlantic action in the American this afternoon. All right, for Butler and St. John's here. St. John's went 15-12 against the spread as a favorite this season. For Butler, they were 8-9-1 as an underdog overall here. This St. John's team's looking pretty terrific right now, and like I said, it feels to me like they are a Final Four team. I know that, yeah, there's some big teams out there, certainly, but man, Pitino's got it going on here right now with the Johnnies here, and they're a big favorite in this one against Butler. Yeah, they could be, these double-digit favorites in the quarterfinal round of the Big East tournament. This has long been kind of it looks daunting, right? Even with St. John's, Butler, great program here, but the Big East itself is really lends itself to some of these blowouts, if you will. I think we have the numbers here, actually, if I can get them up. There's some pretty good history with these Big East double-digit favorites. Getting the money a lot of times. Let me see. I know I have this here. Big East double-digit favorites in the Big East tournament set over the last. Now this is in the quarterfinals only. The last 14 times we've had double-digit favorites in the Big East quarterfinals. They've covered 12 of the last 14 times in this conference tournament. So right now for the entire tournament, double-digit favorites are also on a bit of a roll, hitting 11 of the last 15 times overall. So maybe the advantage for St. John's. Butler, great program. Maybe there's a little bit of tax here, if you will, on the popularity with St. John's. They're up to 13 at some spots. Let's go to the chat here right now. I've got a premium, so I'll probably look at the total here in this one, but let's go to the chat and see what you have with Butler and St. John's. All right, see what we got here. Thanks, everybody. And Thomas is talking Kent State in that game we talked about. He likes that steam. And Cash Kane liking Butler, though, still. And, Paul Bowman says if Duke wins big, the game stays under. Oh, I gotcha. Mr. Tomatoes likes Bonaventure and Indiana as his plays here today. Good morning to Teresa O'Brien. Good to have you here on the big day today. And I think Teresa likes Butler in that game, or maybe she just likes butter. It's a very useful ingredient. I mean, you can do so many things with butter. Thomas says, do you think Indiana was, he's asking if I thought Indiana was a consensus there. I didn't know there. Like I said, I went with Oregon, so because my vote was on Oregon. Paul Bowman says, those teams back off a little bit. And Tomatoes also liking Indiana. Thomas likes Oregon. James Parm liking Butler there. Robert McCormick liking the over here in this one. And I think that's it for this one between Butler and St. John's. All right, I've got the under here in this one between Butler and St. John's as my pick here on the show. Probably out of the picks that I was looking at today, for the show picks, might be my least favorite. I do have a premium on the over here over at Winnable. All right. There we go. Let's go to the next matchup here with the Big 12. And we're looking at Iowa State taking on BYU here in this one with Iowa State favored by 3 now, and the total 146. Yeah, 3 and 146 with the Cyclones favored in this one. I've heard a lot of two-way traffic here from handicappers today between these two. You got the 4 and the 5 seed in the Big 12 here, but you do have to consider Iowa State there did play yesterday to advance. We had them over Cincinnati here, so BYU will, lying in wait here for the Cyclones in this one. They got the bye here in Kansas City, so take a look at what these two teams are up to. Pretty good cover teams for sure. Iowa State 16 and 11 against the spread this season as a favorite. BYU was an underdog just 5 times this season, and they did get the money 3 of those 5 times. It went 3 and 2 against the spread. BYU did go over in all 5 games as an underdog this season. However, Iowa State was mostly an under team, going 10 and 17 to the under as a favorite. These two teams met back on March the 4th, and it was BYU winning that one 88 to 85 as an 8.5 point dog on the road, as the Cougars won and covered in that one. Let's go to the chat here and see what you've got in the matchup with Iowa State and BYU here at 12:30 Eastern and 9:30 Pacific time. This one's on ESPN2. All right, and we're going to get together with Iowa Cash Cane on Iowa State money line. And Teresa says Iowa State here. She might be predicting a little consensus action. Getting a little bit of steam here right now, reporting with the matchup between St. Louis and Pittsburgh in NHL action. We're seeing some steam here to the under with St. Louis and Pittsburgh. This one could get down to 5.5 here, maybe juice to the over, but definitely seeing some steam here with the Blues and the Penguins to the under. All right. Iowa State here for Thomas. And, okay. Already, we've already got a Iowa State here. Did I miss some of these plays? I think Thomas is saying Iowa State is a consensus play already here. Okay, gotcha. Let me mark that down. Robert's on Iowa State. College Station says Iowa State and the under. Oh, yeah. See, I think it was just a prediction by Thomas, but he had it right. Look at these. Our Thompson is on BYU, but there's some more Iowa State. Big Scott, though, says BYU. Wichita State under also is his other play. Jerry says you've got revenge here, revancha. Okay, I see it now. Consensus play here in this one with Iowa State and BYU. And you know what? I don't disagree. I'm going to tag along with Team Steam here and take Iowa State. That's what I'm going to do. I roll with my chat, and I'll take the Cyclones over the Cougars today. Good. All right, Arkansas taking on Ole Miss. And we saw Arkansas, lots of emotion in that game yesterday. It was a dicey one for sure, but they were able to prevail in that game yesterday over South Carolina. It was a wild swings a little bit in that game, but Arkansas won it 72 to 68. Maybe they got the money for some, but I don't know if they did for most. I think the Gamecocks kind of got the money there in that one, depending on when you got the line. I know I had laid some of it early, so maybe worked out for me, but don't want to give anybody any bad juju because some people might have ended up on the wrong side there with Arkansas yesterday. But nonetheless, Arkansas has won 3 straight games, although failed to cover in each of the last 2 games. For Ole Miss here, they come in off of a loss against Florida. They got blown out by 19 points. Ole Miss 8-10 against the spread as a favorite. Meanwhile, Arkansas 13-18 against the spread this season. Got some steam that just came in right now in a matchup that we've already talked about. We've only talked about 3 games, but there is some steam that has just come in on the matchup between Butler and St. John's. It's coming in on the under, which was my play here on the show, but the total is moving lower here with Butler and St. John's. We're down to 145. I thought that's what we said the number was, so that's what the line service is sending out. We'll mention it. All right, here with Arkansas and Ole Miss, we'll get your plays here in this one. Let's hear from you in the chat. With this matchup between Arkansas and Ole Miss, the teams did meet back on January the 8th, and Ole Miss won it 73-66 as a 3.5-point dog on the road. Ole Miss was able to do it. All right, I'm going to the chat here right now to get the picks of the chat all-stars. All right, Ole Miss for Thomas. And I think Teresa here likes Arkansas. College Station liked that BYU game to go over. I've got some steam coming in right now. I'm going to report to you as we'll get back to this game. But Morgan State and Howard, we're going to cover them all here. Quarterfinals of the MEAC, steam to the over here in that one. Okay, we're going to break off here just a little bit to talk about the MEAC if I can. The steam is coming in on the over. You see these totals today in the MEAC, and they are very, very high. No doubt. 160. I think that one's going up to 162.5 or so. The North Carolina Central Delaware game also tonight is 153. And you have those matchups, over teams for sure. Morgan and Howard, Central and Delaware, those are over teams for sure. But the most interesting thing about that is in the MEAC tournament themselves, especially when you get to the quarter, they're not only usually one round before that, but it is a pretty strange phenomena in the MEAC. You get these totals, they end up very, very high. I think I was mentioning this yesterday, as a matter of fact. They're very, very high, and yet the games end up going under for some reason. There's some kind of, maybe the pressure of it, if you will, and they've got, win and you're in type of philosophy here with these teams for sure. In the smaller conferences, you got to win this conference tournament. So let me see, I got the numbers here a little bit on this with these big games. Okay. Here we go. All right. Since over the last 9 years in the MEAC, games with a total of 148 or higher, such as both games today, have gone under in 12 of the last 13 games. So high totals, they go under in the MEAC. Nonetheless, there is some steam to the over with Morgan and Howard. That's now, granted, that's about only once or twice a year this happens in the tournament because of the totals. 148 still pretty high, so maybe they don't all go. But both of today's games are high totals there, and 12 of the last 13 MEAC tournament games 148 or higher have gone under 12 of the last 13. All right. Going to continue on here with our previews. A little bit of steam here in hockey. The Sharks are getting steam tonight. I'll just mention this one real quick because we're not. That one game we left off is the Blackhawks and the Sharks today. Apologies to all those fans. But the steam just came in on the Sharks. They're going to be a favorite here against the Blackhawks. It was a pick 'em or so, but the Sharks are favored $1.15 or so. All right. Arkansas and Ole Miss. Today, let me get your picks in this one. SEC action here at 1 Eastern and 10 Pacific on the SEC network. All right, and I'm going to the chat anymore here. We got to back up here. You got a lot of them, actually. I start over here. Thomas was on Ole Miss. Teresa on
Final.
Arkansas. There, she wants to make sure we see that there. Kane, Arkansas. Nuke says, he was talking about that game yesterday. Yep. Mm-hmm. And Jerry says he thinks the Hogs could have a little bit of a problem early. And Thomas says, maybe I got to check that line. Is that what I do? Arkansas. Is that what he's talking about? 4.5. Thank you, Thomas. 4.5, 144.5 in this one. Definitely a move on Ole Miss here. There we go. 144.5, 4.5, 144.5 in this one. All right. Also, some steam just came in moments ago in the matchup between DePaul and Creighton. How about DePaul and their win yesterday? We're seeing some steam here in that one to the over with DePaul and Creighton. It was 140. Let me get it here. It was, steam to the under. Pardon me here. DePaul and Creighton, steam to the under. It was 145. We're down to 143 here with DePaul and Creighton, steam to the under. All right. Back to the chat here on this one. Thanks, gang, for bearing with me here. R. Thompson's on Arkansas, Twisted's on Arkansas, a lot of Arkansas there. And good morning to X0X Parasite, likes Brazil in something here. And Jerry says DePaul in that other game. All right, I guess I better make the call here in the game between Arkansas and Ole Miss today. And I think I know where I'm headed. I'm going to try the Hogs here, plus the points against Ole Miss. It's gone up a little bit. I'm going to take those 4.5 points with Arky. All right, next up, we've got the Heels taking on Wake Forest in this one. Carolina looked impressive. I had them yesterday in that matchup. Or you guys had them. I'm sorry. You guys had North Carolina in that matchup. The consensus winner there yesterday with the Heels. They're going to be favored here now by 5.5. And the total here, 148.5 with North Carolina here in the ACC. This one's on ESPN at 2:30 Eastern and 11:30 a.m. Pacific. I've got a premium pick on this one on the total over at winnable.com. So I'll be focusing here on the side in this one with North Carolina and Wake Forest. North Carolina 13-20 against the spread of this season. Wake Forest was also a little bit subpar against the spread. Wake Forest has gone 3-8 to the under as an underdog. Meanwhile, Carolina's gone over in 7 of their last 10 games coming into this one. Carolina got the money yesterday, laying 10.5 against the Irish as a 20-point winner in that one for Wake. They come in here off of the bye, of course. Um, regular season meeting between these two was 67-66. Wake Forest won and covered at home as a 1-point dog. See what you guys have in this one between North Carolina and Wake. Got a little bit of steam coming in here right now in the ACC tonight. We've got a move to the under here with Stanford and Duke. Stanford and Louisville, two teams that definitely have a couple of unders this season on their ledgers. Total was 144.5. We're down to 143 here. Steam to the under with Stanford and Louisville tonight. I'm going to the chat here in the matchup between North Carolina and Wake. See what you have in this one. Thomas starts us off, and he's got North Carolina. Good morning to Gravy in the chat. And Trevor's on North Carolina. Jerry's on North Carolina as well. We've got steam plays going off. Robert's on the Tar Heels. Good morning to Curtis. He likes Carolina in this one. Twisted likes Carolina and the under. Good morning to Old E. Thomas says North Carolina is a consensus play here in this one. Wow. Okay. Well, if you guys are on Carolina here, and I'm already on a premium in this total in this one, so I'm just gonna let you guys ride here with the North Carolina Tar Heels consensus play from the chat here, and I'll just leave it at that. Billy Eagle Flyer. I don't know if there's anything we can do about that. Probably should have asked him not to do that. Okay, so another consensus play there, Carolina. Well, I guess we could move on. You guys are on Carolina in that one. I've got a premium over at winnable.com. I'll just leave it at that. Okay. Marquette and Xavier, we talked about this one just a few moments ago. I've got a premium pick on this game on the side. The steam just came in on the over in the game between Marquette and Xavier. Here you got Marquette favored by 2.5, total 145.5. This one's definitely gone up a little bit after that steam that we reported, and maybe a little bit of a move here to Marquette in this one. But we'll see what you guys want to do here with the 4-5 game here in the Big East. That will be closely rated. We get some of these steamers out here. We have a move here with Davidson and St. Louis. Got some steam here to the under in that one with Davidson and St. Louis. 142 has gone to 141 or lower. A little bit of a move here with Davidson and St. Louis. Also moving right now. Actionable betting information for you here on the morning steam. That's why I'm here reporting to you these line moves. I'm just not making it up for content. I wouldn't sit here and do that. Pay good money for this service. I'm reporting to you the line moves in real time as they happen. Texas, San Antonio, and East Carolina. We're seeing some steam here right now to the under. It was 151, but we're going to be down to 149 here, it looks like, by the time this one stops moving. UTSA and East Carolina steam to the under in American conference play tonight in Fort Worth. Also, Davidson and St. Louis just saw some steam here moments ago. Davidson and St. Louis, it was, I think we covered that one. Sorry about that. 142 down to 141. Okay, here's the one I missed. Oklahoma and Kentucky steam to the under in this one with OU and UK. This one was 165. We're down to 163 here in the game between Oklahoma and Kentucky tonight. All right. And also, let's see here. They got one more here. Duquesne and Bonaventure. You guys are already talking about the Bonnies a little bit in the chat. Steam to the under here just moments ago in the game between Duquesne and Bonaventure. It was 130, but right now it's down to 129 or so here with Duquesne and Bonaventure. Some steam here to the under in that one. All right, we're going here. Finish it up in the chat in the matchup between Marquette and Xavier. All right. In Madison Square Garden. Here we go in the chat. Cash Kane, Xavier, money line. R. Thompson's on Marquette. Thomas is on Xavier. Robert likes the over here in this one. And Jerry likes Xavier. All right. Sports money. There's this page to check out the plays on the tab here. All right. I think that's going to do it in this one. Marquette and Xavier. And I'll make my call here. And I've got the over in this one. Missed out here a little bit of steam that came in, but I'm on the over as my play with Marquette and Xavier. All right. I'm going to roll there with Robert. All right, let's go to now a matchup here with Northwestern and Wisconsin yesterday. Hey, we had the over in the matchup between Northwestern and Minnesota yesterday, and why not? I mean, come on, you've got Northwestern here. Yeah, they kind of go over a little bit. Wisconsin, we know they were a big time over this season, surprisingly enough. Right now, you got Wisconsin favored here by 7.5 or so, and the total right now is, it's 8.5, 8.5, and 141.5. We did see Klesmet with that injury there. He is probable, however, today. Maybe that's why this one is hanging here now at 8.5. And this total at 141.5 in this one between Wisconsin here and Northwestern. Let's go to some of the numbers with these two. Northwestern with the win yesterday over Minnesota. They were 3.5-point favorites. They won it by 8 in that one. Penn State here beat Wisconsin last time out, 75-86. Wisconsin lost that one at home as an 11.5-point favorite. Wisconsin was 13-8 against the spread as a favorite this season. The regular season meeting was won by Wisconsin, 75-69. Wisconsin won the game on the road. Northwestern 13-4. The over is an underdog. We talk about Wisconsin going over, but Northwestern, like I said, they've been a pretty big time over as well this season. The widely reported steam did come in on Wisconsin, took it from 7.5 up to 8.5 here. So let's go to the chat for this matchup today, Wisconsin and Northwestern. Here we go. Started off with Cash Kane likes Wisconsin here. And Thomas going to be maybe teasing some of these dogs. Is that what he's saying? Twisted's on Northwestern. Robert is on the under here. Jerry says Northwestern can stay within this number. Super True's on the Badgers. All right. Hey, some steam coming in right now on the game we just talked about between North Carolina and Wake Forest. You guys took Carolina, of course, as a consensus play. The steam's coming in on the under right now on that one. It was 149. We're down to 148 or so here with some widely reported steam on the under with North Carolina and Wake Forest. All right, a couple more here. Let's see. Let's see. College Station says DePaul and Northwestern, maybe for his plays today. All right, I'll get my matchup together here in the game between Northwestern and Wisconsin here. And for me, I've got the Wisconsin Badgers to roll Northwestern. I'm going to chase that steam a little bit here. Give me the Badgers, minus the points. Probably would have, I probably would have went with this one as a premium, but maybe the number was just a little high. It's still a little high, so I'm just going to go with it as my selection here on the show. B-Hawk there on that game liked Xavier Moneyline against Marquette. Thank you, B-Hawk. And Teresa on Marquette in that matchup. Thanks, you guys. Appreciate that. We'll move on, though, here with our action today. No, I think, that's it. That's what I have. That's what I've done. I've gone over the major conferences here, the 5 big conferences, the 10 games. So hopefully that'll be sufficient. We will throw in any steam moves in there today from some of the other conferences as well. We're in most of the quarterfinals. There's 44 games today. Mikey Money will be around at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. He'll preview a handful of games as well for the evening action, and you can get my other plays for the action here at night over at winnable.com. Very reasonable today. If you subscribe to my picks for one day, it's $4. And I've already got 10 plays up in college basketball over there, and I'll have another night card that'll come out before the probably before the 7 o'clock games. Maybe the 6 o'clock games there, depending on what's going on, but also NBA and NHL tonight. So please consider that to get more plays from me in college basketball on this big day. Hey, if you've never subscribed to the picks, today's a great day to do it. Get more action from me here on the Sports Money Network. Okay. Let's keep on going right now, and we're going to move to the NBA here. Man, we probably could just do college basketball all day. We're 40 minutes away from a tip-off in the MAC. Maybe we can get done before that and watch some basketball today. Mikey talking about his 65-1 shot there with Aaron Rye at 2 under. Everybody's at 2 under at this point. I think we've got a dozen golfers right now at 2 under. And you can check out my plays. I've got my 6 best golfers for today over at winnable.com. So consider checking that one out. Those picks are free when you subscribe. Click this QR code. Click that QR code. That'll take you to my winnable page. Free picks over there from me in the golf today. My 6 best golfers for the weekend. When I list my golfers, really I'm just giving you my top plays. They're good for outright winner, top 5s, top 10s, top 20s, group matchups, and head-to-head matchups as well. So, okay. Let's go to the NBA tonight. Thank you, everybody.
Steam playing.
A little bit more steam in college basketball coming in. This is what we'll do to make sure we try to cover as many games as we possible. We got steam to the under here between SMU and Clemson tonight in the ACC. It was 144. We're down to 143. Steam to the under with SMU and Clemson. All right, let's see what else we've got here. T. Moss, good morning. Super True likes Purdue. All right. And a little bit of steam in Euro baskets here for anybody interested. Real Madrid getting steamed in their matchup today. I know you guys are big fans of that league. I don't know if we'll get that far, but they're getting steamed at +6 here in their matchup, or -6, I think, actually. -6 in their matchup, of course, with Bologna today. All right, Thomas on Clemson as well, and College Station talking about Marquette and Xavier matchups back at the turn of the century. That's how old College Station is. Marquette, he says his cousin went to Xavier. He watched a lot of, I think he's saying watched a lot of Xavier, but I remember watching Marquette. Did anybody ever watch Marquette when they had those fancy uniforms? They wore their shirts untucked. They were very stylish with Al McGuire as head coach. They were some throwbacks. I know they're kind of weird, the untucked shirts. They kind of look like little dresses or something. All right, that's it. We're going to the NBA right now. Big card here and some good matchups for sure. 5-game card, actually, but here we go. We're into the NBA tonight. Here we go. Wizards and Pistons. Here in this one, you've got the Pistons favored here by 14. And the total tonight is at 235.5 with the Pistons here. Big favorite, of course. On a roll here right now for sure. In this one against lowly Washington. Pistons have won 2 straight here right now. They're kind of getting things back together a little bit. They covered big numbers over these Wizards yesterday, or 2 nights ago anyway, 123-113. That one was at home as well. It was at Detroit, 123-103. The Pistons were a 15-point favorite in that one, but the widely reported steam did come in on Washington in this game, and it also came in on the under, but hasn't really moved too much. In fact, if anything, it's kind of moved a little bit higher here today. You've got Malcolm Brogdon, he's out of this one. Koulibaly, he's also out for the Wizards here in this matchup. Detroit 15-12 against the spread as a favorite, 7-2-1 against the spread in their last 10 games. Washington 27-35 against the spread as an underdog. Hey, we've got some more college basketball steam right now. It was in the matchup we discussed already between Northwestern and Wisconsin. The steam came in on the under here. We talked about those overs with Northwestern and Wisconsin, but here comes steam to the under, maybe a little bit of old school between these two. It was 141.5. We're down to 140 here with Northwestern and Wisconsin. All right. Well, let's get to your picks here in this one in the NBA tonight with the Wizards and the Pistons. 14.5-point spread here right now. Pistons 10-2-1 against the spread in their last 13 overall. To expand it a little more, Washington 2-5 against the spread in their last 7 games. They've also failed to cover the spread in 4 of the last 5 matchups with Detroit. 6 of the last 7 matchups between these two teams have gone under, as well as 13 of the last 17 games overall, and 5 of the last 7 games here in Detroit have gone under when these two teams have met. So let's get the picks here between Wizards and Detroit from you folks. I know it seems like a letdown here now that we're into the NBA. We should have kept going, previewing all those college games, it feels like. But see what you guys have here in this one. I think I'm ready to go here. And it's going to be All right. Robert likes the under here in this one, and Blue likes the Wizards team total there. So, all right. I'll take the Detroit Pistons in another blowout. Maybe it could say, hey, take the other team, but I don't know if I'm going to do that today. Give me the Pistons to record another blowout victory here in this one. All right. And Thomas says he will hurry up, Ramon. Let's go and get to those games today. I love it. I love it. It's going to be a great day, man. Wow. This is a day. This is a day of action here. Vince Whaley just moved to 3 under to take the lead there at the Players. All right. Here comes some plays. Want to say hello to Bumbo Clot 24. Wow. Hello, Bumbo Clot. Awesome. He likes the Pistons there possibly today. Thank you, Bumbo Clot. Hope I said that right. Hope I didn't say anything wrong. Thank you to AOD in the chat as well. I'm on the Pistons here. This one, let's keep it going with some better matchups. Lakers and Bucks. And Lakers. LeBron has returned to Los Angeles to get some treatment on his groin injury. So the Lakers will have to do it without him. Giannis is on the injured list today, but he's probable here in this one. And for the Lakers, Jackson Hayes is out. Hachimura, he's still out. DFS is probable. Bucks have lost 3 straight games coming into this one. Losses to Indiana, Cleveland, and Orlando. Lakers, meanwhile, with losses here to start this road trip against Boston and against Brooklyn. So does feel a little bit tough here right now. And Lakers, can they kind of get it together a little bit? Is this going to be, without LeBron? We know that, look, at the beginning when Luka joined and he was out, they were able to manage a little bit, but maybe the pressure for Luka a little bit tough here, it feels like. All right, let's cover it here with these two. The Lakers on the road against the Milwaukee Bucks. Got the Bucks favored here by 5.5, and the total 225. It's actually up to 7 here with the Bucks. So a little bit of a move here for sure on the Bucks today. Go to the chat also and see what you folks have. These two teams met back in October. The Lakers won and covered 107 to 102. They were getting 4.5 points on that day. And Art Thompson's on the Bucks here. Super True says DePaul with that win yesterday. Yep. Thomas might be on the Bucks. Good morning to Sancho. How you been, Sancho? He's ready to go with that tennis action today. Man, look, I said yesterday, I said, boy, these two tournaments are wide open here. Anybody can win. Well, Iga went out and crushed her opponent. Carlos went out and crushed his opponent. So maybe it will be Iga and Carlos after all. But we've got some great matchups today as we get down and dirty here with the quarters at Indian Wells. Thank you, Sancho, for mentioning the tennis today. We got some really tight matchups too. I had some winners there yesterday on Winnable. If you guys checked me out over there, I had Belinda Bencic yesterday over Coco Gauff. I don't know if anybody rode with me on that one, but I had Bencic to win that one. But close matchups today in these quarters. Greek Spore and Holger Rune. Rune favored in that one. Iga up against Qinwen Zhang. Man, Qinwen Zhang looking pretty good out there. Iga, $5 favorite over Qinwen Zhang. I know she's rolling these folks. And, we know that Iga, always not the hard court specialist, but she's rolling here. But Qinwen Zhang, hey, it looks like every time I turn on the TV, she's waving to the crowd after another victory. Medvedev against red hot Feast, Arthur Feast coming in playing pretty well. Mira Andreeva against Vitalina, 250 favorite. Madison Keys and Bensage. That feels like the best matchup of the day. The closely rated Keys favored in that one. Jack Draper handed me a defeat yesterday. He's up against Ben Shelton and favored against Big Ben today at minus $1.70. Sabalenka, you got to figure to give Iga the battle there, maybe. Sabalenka, big $5 favorite against Samsonova, and Alcaraz minus 1,200 against Cerundolo. Yeah, Alcaraz on fire. So those are the matchups in tennis. Thank you, Sancho. Great action today at Indian Wells. Blue likes the Bucks here. AOD says the Lakers without LeBron, not good. Kiadra likes Sacramento. And College Station, thank you for your fantasy looks. Man, I wish I was. The one thing I miss here in Las Vegas is playing DFS. We don't have DFS in Nevada. All right. I think that's going to do it on this one with the Lakers and the Bucks. Let me make a pick here in this one. I want to see what's up with this little line move. With this little line move for sure here in this matchup, up to 7 here right now. And man, I still want to take Milwaukee here, but yeah, give me Milwaukee. I'm going to have to lay it here against the Lakers today in this one. All right. Next up, you got the Nets and the Bulls here. Still worth talking about. I think with the Bulls, maybe we could have left this one off. I think the Bulls are just about toast now. So, no, the Nets are kind of toast. Maybe I was just typing in the lines. Probably could have left this one off. But Chicago's pretty hot right now. They've covered 8 of their last 10 overall. They've split their last 10 coming into this one. You've got the Nets still 20-13 against the spread on the road here, but the Bulls are kind of covering some numbers here for sure of late. Line in this one is currently at minus 2.5 and 230 or so in this one. Chicago 8-3 against the spread in their last 11. The Nets come in having lost 9 of their last 11 games. Overall, Chicago's just 2-5 against the spread in their last 7 games against Brooklyn. When these two teams have met here in Chicago, 7 of the last 8 meetings between the two teams have gone under, but the widely reported steam did come in on the over here. Still, the Bulls are 4-11 to the under as a favorite so far this season. So real quick here, if you like this one, Bulls, and there's only 5 games, so Bulls and Nets here in this one. And I think I feel pretty confident here. I like this matchup here quite a bit on the side and the total. Let me go to the chat and see what you guys have anything here before I spout off, and maybe I'll tag along with the chat. Thomas is on Chicago here. And thank you, Sancho, for coming by today and covering tennis with me here a little bit. I might have a little package out there of tennis. I'm going to be betting these matches for sure. Today, got to keep my eye on Indian Wells, even with all this basketball. Nets and over here for Robert and I, right on, Robert. Kiadra on the Bucks here. College Station talking Luca there in that Laker game. Cash Kane on the Nets. Blues on the under in this one. And good morning to Keith. Each and every stride. That is his last name after all. Hello to Keith. All right.
Steam playing.
think that's going to do it in this one between Brooklyn and Chicago. I'll take the Brooklyn Nets here, plus 2.5 against the Bulls today. Next up, Orlando and the Pelicans tonight. You got Orlando here, 1.5 point favorite. I call it 2.5 now, and 216.5 in this one with the Magic and the Pelicans today. For the Magic, they come in here right now having lost a few games here. They lost last time out to Houston, could only manage 84 points and 97 to 84 loss. They beat Milwaukee before that, but were on a losing streak before that win. For New Orleans here, they snapped their losing streak to beat the Clippers last time out, 127 to 120 is an 8-point dog. New Orleans is 18-14 against the spread at home, even though they are just 20-29 against the spread as an underdog. Meanwhile, Orlando is 20-17 against the spread as a favorite. These two teams met last back on November the 8th, and Orlando won at 115 to 88. Last time they met. So, see what you might have here with the Magic taking on New Orleans today here in New Orleans. For New Orleans, just 2-5 against the spread their last 7 games overall, but Orlando just 1-6 against the spread in their last 7 right now. When these two teams get together, it's pretty much been all Orlando. They've won 11 of the last 13 meetings between the two teams, and also New Orleans has gone just 2-11 against the spread in their last 13 meetings against the Magic overall. So New Orleans is 30-20 to the over as an underdog, but Orlando's 13-24 to the under as a favorite. When these two teams meet here in New Orleans, I mean, those trends are still going to hold true for the most part. Orlando has covered 7 straight trips into New Orleans, and 14 of the last 20 meetings between these two teams here in New Orleans have gone under. Let's go to the chat here in this one with the Magic and the Pelicans here tonight. And see what you got in this one. Go into the chat here, and we got the Pelicans too. Started a College Station there, talking about some fantasy players. Thank you, College Station. I wish I could join you. All right, Blues on the Pelicans here. Thomas is on the Magic, however. And Robert likes the over in this one. And Mr. Tomatoes has been ready for that St. Bonaventure game for sure here today. All right, I've got to be ready to go here in this one between Orlando and the Pelicans. I'm going to go over here with Orlando and New Orleans. I'm not getting the best of this number, so let me just take them here on the show. I'm going over tonight with Orlando and New Orleans. All right. Thomas says maybe Orlando's got the size in this matchup. One more in the NBA between the Kings and the Warriors tonight. The Warriors are favored in this one by 7. And the total here, 233.5 at Golden State tonight. For the Warriors here, they come in on this winning streak. Man, they've really found their way ever since the Butler trade. It's been a positive situation for sure. Now, the Kings do get Sabonis back in this lineup, I think, tonight. He's been upgraded to questionable. I think it looks pretty good here for Sabonis. Not official yet, still listed as questionable. Malik Monk, probable. Crowder, probable here. Pajemski, he's out of this game for Golden State here. Golden State 6-3-1 against the spread in their last 10, but Sacramento's 7-3 against the spread in their last 10 games. Sacramento's 13-6 to the over as an underdog this season. And to break it down even a little further here with Sacramento and Golden State. Golden State now, they've won 10 of their last 11, but Sacramento still 7-1 against the spread in their last 8 games. Sacramento has beaten Golden State in 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams, so they've solved them here for the most part. 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone over. And when they played here at Golden State, Sacramento's covered 15 of the last 21 games overall between the two. 15 of the last 19 actually between the two. So Sacramento has the Warriors number here for the most part, but the Warriors obviously playing at a new level, a renewed level, I think is the best way to put it here. They're back. Let's go to the chat here, Kings and Warriors, and then that's going to be it for the NBA. And Kiadra says, you got to love Sac getting these points. Golden State wins, but Sacramento can cover, maybe especially with Sabonis back, I think is the way Kiadra's feeling it there. And Robert likes the under here in this one. All right. I'm going to go against the grain here a little bit. I'm on the Warriors here as a favorite in this one. Boy, did I just take 4 favorites today? No, I didn't. I took an underdog with the Nets. Want to make sure there. Thomas likes this game tonight. I'm going to take the Warriors to win and cover tonight against the Kings. That's it for the NBA, everybody. Thank you for your picks in the chat. Let's go to hockey. Big card tonight. We're just 15 minutes away from the start of the basketball here with Bowling Green and Akron. If you want to get my pick in the game between Bowling Green and Akron, you can get it over at winnable.com/Ramon. Click that QR code in the upper right hand corner of the screen. That'll take you over to my winnable page, and I've got my best play over there right now for the game between Akron and Bowling Green that starts at the top of the hour. But I do want to say here, let me take a look here real quick. I think I'm going to go with my pick as well in the game here, and I'm going to take the Bowling Green Falcons, take Bowling Green in this one against Akron. That'll be my morning steam play. I'm going to take the points here with Bowling Green plus 11.5, top of the hour. I've got the Falcons against Akron. Okay, Akron, great year, no doubt about it. I'm sure they'll be able to win, survive, and advance the number 1 seed in the MAC, but I'm going to take Bowling Green plus those points today. All right, let's go to hockey. And Mr. Tomatoes is going to do a parlay. Thomas likes a blowout there with Akron. All right, the Golden Knights are going to be on the road here against the most profitable home team in all of hockey, the Columbus Blue Jackets. They continue to make you money here at a breakneck pace at home. The only team to be able to claim that they're covering right now at home over a half a unit per game right now with the Columbus Blue Jackets. This has been a great story here this year for Columbus. They've done a great job, and at home, they're just terrific. And they've been totally profitable here. Now they're taking on the Golden Knights. They are an underdog here for sure, but the Knights have lost 2 in a row here, including 3-2 at Pittsburgh last time out. Meanwhile, for Columbus here, they've been okay of late. They've actually lost 3 of their last 4, but the line here right now. It says 170 there, but I know it's still about 170 here or so. I mean, maybe the cat's out of the bag a little bit on these Columbus Blue Jackets. Nonetheless, Vegas has still won 7 of their last 10 games overall, but they're just 3-8 on the road here in their last 11 games. Columbus has won 19 of their last 27 games at home, 12 of their last 15 games at home, and 8 of their last 10 games at home overall. So they just continue to produce at home. Still a tough matchup, obviously, with the Golden Knights here. These two teams played on January 30th at Vegas. Who won? Columbus won that one. Right now, here it comes. I knew it. The Golden Knights, here comes the steam right now. The steam's rolling in on the Golden Knights. 178 at Bet Online. The line service has just sent it out. Says Golden Knights here, steaming here at this point. I don't know if I can trust them in this role here right now against this great Columbus team. I want to take Columbus. Can't take them on the money line here, even with this steam coming in right this second. No doubt about it. I'm showing right now 175 at Bovada here, and maybe I can still grab this puck line. It's $1.75 or so at the square books. I want to take Columbus here. I'll just take them on the money line. I just cannot stop taking Columbus at home, even if the computer is screaming at me over here to take Vegas. Just lay it. See if you guys like this one at all. And here is Cash Cane on the Jackets money line. And College Station going Akron and over in that game about to start. Kiadra under in the hockey game here. I think College Station's got his hockey. Blue Jackets there also. Jets and Jets game over. Maybe the Knights to go over as well. Good morning to Solo there. Hello, Solo. Nice to have Solo in the chat today. Maybe he'll bless us with some picks. And Robert likes the over in this one. I'm going to take the Blue Jackets. Despite this steam coming in right now on the Golden Knights here.
Lineup.
$1.78 at Bet Online, $1.75 at Bovada. Action coming in here on that favorite. I'm taking the Blue Jackets. I can't stop taking the Blue Jackets at home at this point. All right, next up is the Bruins taking on the Senator. We're going to go fast, man. Let's get to the basketball and have a great day today here. Bruins and Senators. You got the Senators here, $1.90, maybe even $2 here. The Senators are moving higher here at this point for sure in their matchup today with the Bees. For Ottawa here, they've won 4 straight games right now. Florida's taken some steam here in their matchup against Toronto and on the ice tonight. I'll just mention it real quick. Florida was $1.15, but they're going to move up here real quick, like to $1.20, maybe $1.28 at Bet Online, $1.27 at Circa right now. Going to go up to $1.30 here. It feels like with the Panthers taking the steam against the Leafs. All right, the Bruins have won their last 2 games coming in. They beat Florida and Tampa Bay in back-to-back games. For Ottawa, this 4-game winning streak over Philadelphia, over Detroit, over the Rangers, over Chicago. They whipped up on the Flyers last time out, but still laying a pretty big price here in this one at near $2 right now. The first meeting of the last time these two teams met, Boston won at home 2-0, but Ottawa won back in January 6-5 at home. Ottawa also can claim a win at Boston this year, 3-2 back in November. So see what you guys have here in this one tonight with Boston taking on Ottawa here as this line continues to move higher for the most part. It feels pretty darn high here. But Ottawa has lost 18 of the last 25 meetings against Boston overall. 7 of the last 9 meetings between the two teams have gone under. 11 of the last 14 have gone under as well. 9 of the last 12 meetings here in Ottawa between the two teams have gone under. Boston's gone under in 5 straight on the road and 5 of their last 6 overall. We're seeing a little bit of steam on the total now in that Florida and Toronto game. You wonder now here if there isn't some issue here with some personnel. Steam to the over right now in the game between Florida and Toronto. It was 5.5. We're going to start to see 6 under, I think, here with Florida and Toronto. 6 under 15 right now at Bovada. 622 at Bet Online right now, or I got those backwards. Bet Online 615, Bovada 622, and that Florida Toronto game we'll preview in just a moment. All right, Boston here and the Sens. Let's get your call in this one with these two and see what you got in this one. For this matchup, Ottawa has gone under 26, 33, and 5 to the under, but Boston is 19 and 15 to the over as an underdog. All right, I'm about ready to make the call here for me in this one, and I've got a man, that's a big price on Ottawa. Can they really get this puck line today? I'm going to try it. Give me Ottawa on the puck line over the Bruins today. That's going to be my pick on the Morning Steam show. All right, see what you got here. Solo is on Akron in that first game there. Thank you, Solo. He gave us a pick. Thank you. And see what else here. Kiadra, Blue Jackets puck line there in that one, and that early one we talked about. And College Station likes the Blue Jackets push over. Maybe it's over in the first period, I think maybe. Here's Robert on the Senators today. Is Swayman that bad? Swayman. Take a look at some of these goalies today here, if anything happens. Let's see what we've got so far in the games we've covered anyway. These first 2 games. Nothing yet in this game with I've got Swayman and Allmark, though. Here's College Station says the Senators are a good favorite side. Sports Money says that Akron line has actually come back down here right now in the game. Right now I'm showing mostly 11.5 or 12, maybe even a 12.5 and a few books here at this point, but I like Bowling Green. I like Bowling Green in the first half too, but I don't give out too many halves. I don't give out halves here, but all right, and let's see here. Jermaine says Ramon doesn't lay too many puck lines like this, but I will here. Yeah, I think the price for me, a little bit of plus money here with Ottawa today. I don't want to lay $2. I don't. Just for me, I can't go premium. I if it was $1.65, I'd have a premium here on Ottawa, or at least a.
Steam play.
See what else here. Kiadra says, fade that steam, Ramon. All right, let's keep it going here right now. I'd like to finish it up and get over to the basketball. Let's have a great day. Blues and Pens here in this one. The widely reported steam did come in on the under here in this one. It's right now 5.5 over 15. Penguins have won 2 straight with wins over Vegas and Minnesota in pretty convincing fashion. They were underdogs in both those games and did a real nice job for the Blues here. They are coming in off of a loss, but they have won 2 of their last 3. They played pretty well, I thought, in that game against the Kings. They still lost on the road 2-1. They were on a back-to-back. They had beaten Anaheim 4-3 the night prior. So let's take a look here, though, with St. Louis taking on Pittsburgh in this one. I'm showing St. Louis right now at minus $1.15, minus $1.20, 5.5 over 15 right now. The Penguins have lost 8 of their last 11 overall. They've also gone under in 5 of their last 6 games. Blues have won 6 of 8 coming into this one, but they've always struggled here of late against the Penguins. They've gone 3-8 straight up in the last 11 games against the Penguins. Also, 4 out of the last 5 meetings between the two teams have gone under. And even though, as I mentioned, Pittsburgh maybe some good numbers here against St. Louis overall, they've also won 4 out of the last 5 games against the Blues, including a 4-2 win at Pittsburgh back on December 30th. But St. Louis did win at home back in October. So let's see what you got here in this one with St. Louis and Pittsburgh. A near toss-up here today. St. Louis is 16 and 13 on the road. Pittsburgh 15 and 13 at home. St. Louis 10 and 6 to the over as a favorite. Let's go to the chat here and see what we've got here. I've got Bennington and Yari scheduled in goal. And I've got Thomas here speaking my language. AOD, thank you. I think Sports Money's like an Akron here to roll. Jermaine here on the Blues. Philly Eagle Flyer likes the over. I think he likes the trifecta over there. College Station with a little bit pick there. Kiadra says Boston puck line. College Station, Boston puck line. Roberts on the Blues here in this one. Don't mind. I don't think I mind that one at all here, but I'm going to have to take the Blues. The Blues are a premium pick for me, but I'm not sure about this total right now that it's gone down. I really want to use the Blues as a premium today, but I've just committed to the Blues here on the show. I think I know what I like on the total, but it's gone down to 5.5 for the most part. So, all right, I'm going to have to kind of roll with this one here. I'm taking the Blues for sure tonight in this one with my man Robert. It's a premium, but I just don't know on the total here at this point. So I'm going to go with it here on the show. That's what I do when I don't know. All right. Keep it going here right now. And with the Lightning taking on the Flyers here in this one, you've got the Flyers underdog here. The Lightning, of course. Lightning $1.70, 5.5 over at minus 120 right now. The Flyers are in a bad way right now with this losing streak, and they're not really even coming close at this point. They're getting blown out every single time here right now. It's starting to be an issue for sure. They're losing by multiple goals here in a league that's fraught of 1-goal games at this point. Not looking good here for the Flyers at this point. And you figure the way the Lightning can light it up here. Now, the Flyers did win the last meeting 2-1 on the road back in November. In the first meeting of the season between the two teams. But, man, this is a bad situation for the Flyers. Can they kind of get anything going here? Can they recover at this point? It almost looks like a little bit of a bargain here for the Lightning. All right, we've got a little bit of breaking news here right now from the world of golf. Jason Day has withdrawn from the Players' Championship today. Jason Day feeling a little bit ill, they said. Just seeing it here on the screen right now. Jason Day pulls out of the Players' Championship. I hope we know Jason's been fraught with physical challenges in his career, so hopefully it's all good today for JD. Okay, here we go. So Flyers have lost 5 straight, 6 of their last 7, and 11 of their last 15 overall. Tampa Bay's won 10 of their last 13 overall. They've also gone under in 7 of their last 9 games. Philadelphia's lost 16 of the last 22 meetings against Tampa Bay, and 4 out of the last 5. They've also lost. They've lost 9 of the last 11 at home to Tampa Bay. These two teams usually go over when they meet in Philadelphia. 10 of the last 13 meetings between the two teams here have gone over. And probably going to happen again today. But I'm going to go ahead and just take the Lightning here. On the puck line, they're on a roll right now. The Flyers are struggling. Maybe you'll take them at -1. Maybe you can go regulation, but until we figure out what's wrong with Pittsburgh here, with Philadelphia here, I'm going to have to take the Lightning on the puck line here at plus money for sure. I mean, they're around plus $1.40 or so right now. There is some movement going on in this game currently, and we'll have to see. There may be we'll just stand by and come back to it if there's any move, but we already said that I said $1.70 kind of looked cheap to me the way the Flyers are going right now. It feels like a $2 game, so I'm going to take the Lightning.
Critical notice.
All right, there's that Jason Day. Hey, I beat the line service on that one. They just told me over here Jason Day is withdrawn, and I just saw it on TV and I announced it. All right. Here we go. Next up, let me go to the chat here real quick. You guys have some comments here maybe on this one with the Lightning and the Flyers. Sorry about that. College Station likes the Blue Jackets, it looks like. Robert was on the under here in this one. And Philly Eagle Flyer liking the Lightning on the money line. Thomas will lean to the Flyers here, or Robert will lean to the Flyers here. Gotcha. They got to come up with one somewhere here, right? College Station here, Philadelphia and the over there. Also Colorado and the over and the Blues, I think is what he's saying there. Oh my gosh, Mikey, that's just that one scored and on the power play, struggling at home on the power play right now. We know that the Flyers here this season on the power play, I think they're almost last in the league, right? Okay, here we go. Next up. Panthers and the Leafs. We talked about that steam that came in on the Panthers driving this line up. This line's a little stale on the screen, I think. The Panthers are up to $1.25 or $1.30 here at some spots. I'll call it $1.30 in the total here. Total has moved higher here for sure. I'm going to call it 6 under 15, 6 under 20, something like that in this matchup. And Panthers on the road. Good game here for sure tonight between these two. We've got the Panthers coming in here 40, 22, and 3. The Leafs are 39, 22, and 3. Maple Leafs are coming in off of a win. They actually had a losing streak of 3 games, but they beat Utah last time out. They aren't really playing that well here of late over the last couple of weeks or so. They're definitely on a little bit of a downturn. Florida, meanwhile, was on a winning streak, but they lost at Boston 3-2 last time out here. And For Florida in this one, they've won 6 of their last 7 games overall. They've gone under in 7 of their last 8 games. Coming into this one, we know Toronto's a big-time under at home this season, 11-20 to the under, although they have gone over in 7 of their last 9 and 4 of their last 5 games overall here. Still, this series is a pretty much an under series, as mentioned, especially here in Toronto for the last 5 between these two teams have gone under. But like I said, that widely reported steam did come in on the over here. You've got Bobrovsky. Stolars is confirmed in goal here in this one. So we'll see what you guys have right now between the Florida Panthers and Toronto Maple Leafs here in this one. I know where I'm headed here. I'm getting some value for sure, I think. Let's go to the chat.
Steam playing.
College Station says minus blue light, minus Philadelphia. Under to advance next to the Blues money, Blues Columbus total. Starting to think he's toying with me here. I have no idea what he's on. Robert's on the Leafs here in this one, and I'm going to take the under with Toronto and Florida. Now that it's 6, I'll grade myself at 5.5 if you'd like, but I do like the under in this one tonight between Florida and Toronto. All right, we're going kind of quick here. Let's wrap up this show. Basketball game is underway here in the MACtion. 12-6, Akron's out to a lead in the first 4 minutes of the game. Got the Oilers taking on the Devils here tonight. The Oilers are $1.50 or so on the road, 6.5 over at minus 115 here in this one. Maybe a little bit of a tick to the under. Let's see what it is right now. I think we're getting the goalie information here. It will be Markstrom in goal there for the Devils for sure. He is confirmed in goal today. Devils have won 2 straight games coming in. They beat Columbus. They beat Philadelphia. Edmonton, meanwhile, off of a loss to Buffalo. Remember, 3-2 last time out. These two teams met back on November the 4th. It was New Jersey winning this one 3-0 on the road.
Steam playing.
Just had some NHL steam come in on the Lightning and the Flyers. Steam to the over in that one. We mentioned that the game was going to see some move here. It was taken off the board at a few shops, and now we're seeing a big move here, the Flyers. So I think what's happened here is we've gotten the information on the Lightning here in this one, and we do have a little bit of breaking news here. It looks like Kucherov is probably going to miss this game tonight for Tampa Bay. We're seeing a big move to the Flyers here. I know I already laid Tampa Bay as my free play. This information, though, just coming out right now, and that has driven this line much, much lower. I'm showing Tampa Bay now all the way down here to $1.45 or lower at this point with Kuch listed as questionable, but it looks like Kuch might not make this lineup here today, and that's causing a big line move here right now in this one. And you figure like I said, that steam did come in on the over. It's still 6.5 over 15, 5.5 over 30 at DraftKings. But just to mention that real quick, that information coming out just moments ago, Nikita Kucherov is questionable tonight for Tampa Bay. All right. And that I mentioned it because the steam came in on the over in that one. We know Kuch's role there. So big move on Philly there, taking that steam. All right. Anyways, I'm on the game between the Oilers and the Blues. So let me get back to the business at hand here in this one with the Oilers and the Blues here today with the Oilers on the road. Let's go to the chat. See what you have in this one. We've got
System playing.
Philly Eagle Flyer leaning to the Oilers and the over here in this one. Well, I'm going to go with the under. I'm not fading my man Philly Eagle Flyer. He's got a great pick here for sure. He's taking the time, but I am on the under here between Edmonton and New Jersey tonight. Right now, I'm going to grade myself at I'm taking the under, so you can grade me at 5.5 over 30, but mostly the line out there right now. It's kind of the sharp books are actually leaning to the over here in this one, but I'll just call it 6 flat. Also, we got the goaltending information, I believe, just moments. Oh no, let's see here. Toronto. Tanev is questionable for the Leafs tonight. Defenseman for Toronto. A little bit of news coming in. Chris Tanev is questionable here tonight. All right. Let's keep on moving on here with the Rangers taking on the Wild in this one. You've got the Wild here favored about $1.15. It could be a pick 'em at a lot of spots. In fact, I'm showing the Rangers have actually moved to a favorite at a few spots. I feel at least compelled to call it a pick 'em here at this point. The total 5.5 flat with the Rangers and the Wild today. Rangers 4-game losing streak at this point, trying to get it together here. Losses against Winnipeg, Columbus, Ottawa, and Washington. Minnesota snapped a 2-game losing streak with their win over Colorado last time out. These two teams have not met yet this season, so they'll take care of the first one here between the two teams with Igor and Gus expected in goal tonight. I haven't seen anything as far as the confirmations are concerned. Let me run down the confirmations so far. We have definitely had a few. Stolars is in there for the Leafs in that one. Maybe that's why they steam the Panthers. Stolars, he's been decent, right? For sure. Although he did give up those 4 goals last time out, but 13-6 with a 2.33 ERA. Urson is in there for the Flyers. My man Jonas Johansson in there for the Lightning. Today he's likely to play. He was in the goal in morning skate. Tristan Yari is in there for the Penguins. He is confirmed. Elvis will be in the building tonight for Columbus, and that's all the confirmed goalies here at this point. And, well, the markets are tanking again, so I guess we're going to have to win money with our bets. All right, got to go here right now with the Rangers and the Wild. Give me your pick here in this one between the Rangers and the Wild. Here, I'm going to take the Rangers to snap this 4-game losing streak, actually. Give me the Rangers on the road against the Wild today.
Steam playing.
See what you guys, nothing from you guys maybe in the comments here. Are we still on the air? We've got 100 of you watching right now, but I'll take the Rangers to end this losing streak. All right, this is the last one I've decided to preview. We do have one more, Chicago and San Jose, but San Jose did take some steam in that one. But let me talk about the Capitals and the Kings, a much better game here at this point with the Caps an underdog against these Kings who do not lose at home pretty much, but the Caps are red hot. This is a game of the night for sure with the streaking Capitals coming in here, big winning streak at this point. Washington comes in having won now 5 straight games. The Kings have actually lost 8 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams overall. Capitals make you 0.42 units per start on the road right now. Coming in here with wins over Anaheim, Seattle, Detroit, blew them all out. Kings, meanwhile, on a 3-game winning streak, wins over the Islanders, VGK, and St. Louis. Coming into this one, the Kings are 13-22 to the under as a favorite. Washington's 11-15 to the under as a dog. So great matchup here tonight. What do you got when Washington takes on the Kings here in this one? Boy, I was hoping that Washington would get a little bit more attention, but everybody knows how good the Kings are at home. Robert's on the Caps. Philly Eagle Flyer is on the Caps. Philly Eagle Flyer took the Wild as well. I'm going with the LA Kings here tonight and taking the home team Kings. Of course, they are 21-3 straight up at home. Capitals 21-7 straight up on the road. What a game it's going to be tonight to divert your attention a little bit from the basketball. Maybe by the time the games are winding down, check this one out. A little bit of steam coming in college basketball. The show is pretty much over, so you can type something into the chat to enter the drawing. Fordham and George Washington. We are seeing some steam here with Fordham and George Washington. Steam to the under in this one with the Rams and George Washington. It was 144, but we're seeing it go down here to 143 right now between Fordham and George Washington. The show is over here. Thank you for joining me on the Morning Steam. We're not previewing the Blackhawks and Chicago, and the Sharks tonight. I might have a premium, believe it or not, in that game, but come on, those teams are toast. All right. Thomas says, hit the like. Let's do the drawing, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Hope you'll enjoy the basketball today. Don't forget Mikey Money at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. He'll go over some of those nighttime games today. And there we go. Oh, we're going to do the drawing. Let me get the right dealio here. All right, let's get ready to see the consensus play winner here today. Thomas, but Cash Kane, Jerry, Sports Money, Each and Every Stride, Trevor, Keandra, Oldie, Joe T, Nicholas Handy Solo, and can you believe it? Bumbo Clot has won. Thank you, Bumbo Clot. Hopefully, Bumbo Clot will. I didn't say anything dirty when I say that, did I? Thank you. Bumbo Clot won today. Wow. And Bumbo Clot gets the 3-teamer. Hey, everybody, enjoy the games today. We're back tomorrow. Don't forget, check out the videos of MMA, of VB MMA picks and First Strike. Oh, don't forget, Dan's got his plays for the NRL, his video preview as well today over there at the Sports Money Network under the videos tab. So check that as well. Make sure you check out Mikey Money today. And please consider getting my picks over today at winnable.com. I've got 10 plays. Well, 9 now, but we got another game starting here in just a minute between Duquesne and St. Bonaventure. I think we all know what we had last night with in the chat there. So check it out over at winnable.com. That's the show. Thanks a lot, everybody, for the Sports Money Network. I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
That's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the Morning Steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the